It feels like what's going on social media is like a psy-op. I don't know how to even start this. I do love content on social media that is about, I guess, mental load and kind of exposing how much work that gets invisibilized that women are performing. I think that it is overdue. I think that like we've needed to talk about mental load for a long time. At the same time as that, it feels like what's going on social media is like a psy-op. If I so much as like have an argument where I'm kind of like frustrated about these like patriarchal systems and how they manifest in my own relationship, I feel like immediately I start getting this kind of content on social media about like signs that your boyfriend is a loser or whatever. If he doesn't do this, then he doesn't love you, he doesn't really care about you. And I feel like a lot of the time, the subtext of that is not even critical of men or patriarchy, it's critical of women who have been victims of it. It like kind of falls into this mindset of like, oh well, like you're the one who accepted this treatment, so it's your responsibility, it's your fault. And it doesn't really acknowledge the fact that we've all been raised under patriarchy, and so we all are susceptible to these ways of operating. I just think that some of this content really individualizes the issues of patriarchy into just like men's individual personalities. I feel like it's hard to criticize that type of content because immediately you kind of get like categorized as like a pick-me, which I just think entirely misses the point. It's also just like such a confusing time because I think women are trying to negotiate like, okay, well we've been, you know, compromising isn't even the right word because I think for so much of it, it's been like women making compromises, but how is it really a compromise if the woman is compromising everything and the man isn't? It's very disproportionate. It's not really a compromise unless you're meeting in the middle, which historically is not what was happening predominantly. And like, I say historically, but I mean like my parents. The labor is very unequal. And that's like what has been modeled to me my whole life. And while I can simultaneously be aware of that and be critical of it and be conscious, I also can have relationships that I care about with men who are also complicit in patriarchy, and I can also be complicit in patriarchy. It's hard work for everyone, and like trying to sort of negotiate like, okay, well how much should, oh I almost cut my fingers off. Okay, I gotta slow down because I actually have had some bad finger injuries while cooking in the past. I did cut my nail. Do you see that? I did. Could have been worse. Anyway, it's just confusing to negotiate as a woman who's like trying to be aware of these patriarchal systems and like trying to resist them. Okay, well then how much should I be compromising? And like how much are you supposed to work with someone to like help them also come out of this? Like yes, people have learning to do on their own, but like if you leave someone within a patriarchal society to just like undo their patriarchal learning on their own, they won't, especially if it's a man, because why would you, like, unless someone is prompting you to do so, why would you question a system that has been like reified to you as natural and it is an advantage to you? I also think that when the suggestion becomes very oriented towards a woman's choice, like in order to resolve maybe the issue of like weaponized incompetence in your relationship or something, the advice tends to be to just like blankly leave someone, right? And I think that that really dismisses the ongoing material realities of being a woman and, you know, often having lower income potential. Also, just straight up, like the cost of living is so high that like you kind of have to be in a relationship or you have to be able to like have roommates, and not everyone is able to do that to the same capacity. So like, for example, I'm on the autism spectrum, right? It's like kind of traumatizing for me to be living with someone who I don't really know very well. Like, of course I could get a roommate and I could get someone who I live very easily with, but that is such an unknown and has the potential to be so damaging to me. And I'm not even saying like that I'm in a relationship that I need to get out of. I'm saying if I was. If you're cohabitating with your partner, okay, because it's a financial necessity and the alternative is like homelessness, moving back in with family, which can oftentimes be abusive, or finding a roommate. First of all, in order to find a good roommate, you need to have community. Not everyone has community. Neoliberalism is set up for us to not find community, actually. So there's already an obstacle, right? Sometimes living with a man is just the lesser of many evils, right? And I think that that just gets acknowledged, and like women just get blamed for like enduring things like weaponized incompetence, and not being able to just like walk away from relationship, which just completely like dismisses the material reality of being a woman in patriarchy and in capitalism, just being a person under capitalism, being a disabled person. Yeah, I sort of find that incredibly out of touch. I also just wanted to reemphasize quickly that this is not an invitation for analysis of my personal relationships. And in fact, it is not about that. It is about the structures that, you know, my relationships happen in, right? Everyone's relationships are happening in these contexts. And it's, I think if your instinct is to immediately analyze what I'm saying as purely like a me problem, you've officially missed the point.